Yo, Fluffs, it's good to see you. Thank you all for coming. Really glad you could make it. We have a special guest in Ellen Norstrand tonight and PJ Cruikshank. How you guys doing?
Oh, good. Oh, good. It's really good to see all of you.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Professor Ellen in the house.
Good to be back here. It helps
You
having
see-
faster internet here in Denmark. In
Oh,
US,
yeah.
it was just slow as could be.
So,
Well,
what biohazard are you working with, Alan?
I
He's got
gotta
a big
ask you something. I gotta
biohazard on
ask
his.
him if his biohazard. But I just gotta ask him a few things. When you took that airplane flight, did your plane dip over curve, or was there any Coriolis deflection or anything like that? Hear me.
Can you hear Alan?
Yeah, I had the browser open and I was getting an echo. So
Oh, okay.
I'd forgotten I had
Yeah.
YouTube going in.
But yeah,
So
it's good to see you, man. I'm glad you're doing okay, because I know you're not really so fond of Denmark so much.
No, not always. A little too socialistic for me.
Different.
Yeah.
But the people are different there, though.
They are. They're very nice. They're probably the nicest people in the world.
Are they
Maybe
too
a
nice?
little
That's
too
it.
nice.
Ah. Have they offered you so many clogs yet? Wooden clogs?
No, I used to have them when I was a little kid, and the store I got teased by having those. But then I kicked people in the shins, and my mom made me not wear them anymore.
But yeah, it's cool. I'm just going to say hi to everyone that YouTube chats along quickly. Good to see you guys. PJ Cruikshank, obviously good to see you. Normal Dave was here. Thank you for coming. Alan Orstrand, as always. Hello. Moomin Rider, good to see you, man. Great to have you here. Yoda, hello. Michael Khan in the house. What's up, man? Glad to have you here. Cole Styles, good to see you. Chopa Chope, that's already gone now as well. Thank you for coming. Tommy, hey, man. Glad to have you in. Globezoid, good to see you too. Underground Tunnels, hello. Saddle Bum, what's up? Jeff Gassed, good to see you too. Liv is always awesome, man. Thank you for coming. And I think that's everybody I see. Before we do start, hit the like, share the show. It really, really does help to get the show to a wide audience. So, tonight's stream is a specific topic. And the topic is about the globe and how dishonest people have to be to defend the globe.
Yeah.
I think, Alan, you've had your fair share of dishonest trolls these last few days.
I sure have.
Want to share anything about it?
Not much to say other than kind of fun to play with them. And then I just block them lately. I've gotten tired of it.
Yeah, and I see you've got the same thing that I used to get. As soon as you start blocking one troll, you end up losing like 20, 30 subscribers at a time because they're all linked.
Yep.
It shows you how much double accounts that people have.
They sure do. They must not have nothing else to do in their life.
So yeah, it's very sad actually. But yeah, like I said, we got the trolls in here as well. As you can see, we've already had to ban a few of them because they come and say stupid stuff. So we're definitely doing something right. As me, I've got the what's that group on my case, and you've got the Sean Hawkins trolls in your case. So
yeah,
why are they on your case anyway?
I think it has something to do with they don't like my videos. They don't like things disappearing from the bottom up. And a lot of my videos there, especially I think it was 3.0, it didn't prove anything because I was using a lot more zoom in that lens. And yet they attack that video just like all the others. And
No, but that's what they do. They don't get the actual what you're just showing.
Yeah, they didn't read either. Every video was a different camera, different lens. I was just
Exactly.
trying to be honest. Show the
If you wanted
differences.
an effect, you would have had to put it further, and you were limited with the space you had anyway. But you were just trying to show the resolution is limited by a certain instrument.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why with the DSLR you had no bottom-up obstruction, but if you had to use your little phone camera, you'd have more diffraction, which would appear to give a bottom obstruction. That was it. Simple as that.
Yep. The DSL is also higher off the ground because it's a much bigger lens. So.
Yeah, the lens is much higher because of that. Exactly.
And that's my favorite troll is lower the camera 3 inches, raise the camera 6 inches. It's like they don't even get it right. If you really want to make it fake, you got to lower the camera. But a lot of them told me to lower it. It's like, you really want me to raise it.
You see, it's really idiotic. They don't understand. Let's say you're trying to do something sort of downscaled and you got a camera or something. When you're a person, for instance, 6 feet standing off on the ground, in reality, when you take that to kind of scale and you take like your DSLR camera or something, you literally have to put that lens like literally on the edge of that table or something. So it's as low as possible to mimic that 6 feet. And even then, it's still not mimicking it because it's still higher than what it would be compared to a person on larger scale.
Exactly. You're in a very small room and everything's a different scale.
Yeah, look at it this way. Your eye is this small. If you take it, now you take that lens with the scale out sitting, it's like this huge.
Yeah.
But they don't understand this. Then when you show them, it's like, oh, your floor's curved or you underneath the table. It's like, no, dude.
Yeah. And then they cherry pick too. They picked the one video that and then I had people telling me I don't see the Ferrari disappearing. Did I ever claim that the Ferrari was going to disappear?
Nope.
I could have thrown a magical cloth over it, and then that would have maybe done it. But
but that's how it works, though. They want to try and always make something. One thing I've realized a lot, especially with these guys, is they go out the best they can to try and make a person look dishonest.
They sure do.
I mean, that's what they do for their audience. Their whole persona on their whole spiel is, let's misrepresent a person as much as possible, make them look like they're dishonest. In the meantime, it's the other way around. And that's unfortunately where we sit with these anti-flat earth trolls.
Yeah. It's just funny.
And you're not allowed to defend yourself because then you're dishonest.
Exactly. I just had somebody comment that why is my camera horizontally crooked? Horizontally doesn't have anything to do with straight away in front of you. I could flip it upside down. It wouldn't make a difference, would it? We're trying to film away, not left or right.
Yeah. It's just you're showing the field of view. What does it make a difference anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, it's good to see you, man. But I was
Jeff.
Yeah, PJ?
Jeff said nice videos lately. To Alan. I'm saying Jeff Gosside. He said nice videos, Alan, lately.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Ellen Nordstrand, PJ, I'm sure you'll put the link in for them, correct?
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do that.
Then you guys can go and subscribe to Ellen Nordstrand. Really, really appreciate it because he's got an awesome channel.
You guys probably saw the video I did right before the show, Buzzing the Moon. Got a little Buzz Nelson going and a little Star Wars. And 2 moons.
That was funny.
Yeah. And one's actually breaking gravity. It's right back there. You see that thing's floating.
Yeah, how's that happening anyway? I mean, I thought gravity's supposed to pull it down.
Yeah, electromagnetism is what I hear. There's actually a magnet in the bottom, and then there's a magnet in the globe, and they want to suck together. But then there's 4 electromagnets on the outside that are pushing it away, and a little computer chip that knows exactly how much to push away from the solid, what they call standard magnets.
So it's intentionally away.
Yeah. So if you kill the power, the thing goes bam down to the other magnet, and it's hard to separate it. But
Yeah,
that's how it works.
it's weird if you have to equate that like with what we see in reality with the actual moon and sun. You can say it's how it's moving and stuff is intentionally.
Yeah.
Like sort of like it's created to move that way, to be at that certain distance.
Exactly.
It's all just too perfect to be able to say it's just by chance.
Yeah. I always wonder, why would the moon and the sun be exactly the same size, but yet so far apart?
Yeah,
Just too many coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really odd. But the weird thing is, like, when you see those airplane pilots flying in the sky, and then they show in the left view, they see the moon, and when they pan to the right, they see the sun, and they're at the same elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that a bit odd?
And where does the moon go 2 days a month? It just disappears.
Yeah, no.
No matter where you are on the ball or the flat Earth, you can't see the moon for 2 days. Where does it go?
Exactly. Well, which model has an issue with that? The globe does, because they don't have an answer for it. Yeah, they don't have. They have a physical rock floating in the sky. They can't observe it when it's gone for those 2 days.
No, nowhere can you. It's like it just.
And I mean, people usually say, "Oh, it's just too opaque to see. It's only like 8% visible." You can't observe it, no matter how much exposure you're going to put on it. There's no observed moon. It's just literally gone. It's vanished.
Yeah.
Now with the flat Earth, we got many ideas what it could be, and they're much more plausible on why it's gone for those 2 days than what the globe is. I mean, let's say the moon's maybe plasma or something. It's just getting regenerated or whatever. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's just regenerating.
I don't think any of us will ever know. We can't go there. We're not meant to know.
We can't validate it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. We can only surmise, can't we? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We speculate.
Yeah, Sovereign Soldier says the sun changes size in the videos too. Yeah. Okay. So I have a video that we can actually watch a bit.
Let's watch a video.
If you guys have watched it.
Backpedaler said sun and moon the same size with a question mark. He obviously doesn't believe it.
Doesn't he know his own
They
globe
look
model?
the same size to me.
Doesn't he know his own globe model? That's what the globe model says. What does the poll say for? Dishonest because they have no choice. 46% say yes. 44% say no, and maybe. Well, that's changed. 45% yes, no 43%, and maybe. Oh, now it's changed again. And maybe 12%. What did you guys say?
Luke,
on the
you
poll?
think, Yeah, I mean, I did mine was the first answer, definitely. Luch.
Hey, Luch in the house.
We know exactly what.
Hey, there.
And going flat earth. You're the only flat earther that does know what the moon is. Then
Quite the show there last night, buddy.
Oh, you know what the sun is as well. You're the only flat earther that knows what the sun is as well. Wow, dude, let us know, because we're flat earthers and we don't know what they are.
I do admit Luch took it pretty well for the pounding he took. Most people would have got very mad and not been able to.
Oh, that's one thing I like about Luch. He's very calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
One of the best ball earthers I know, I guess.
Yeah, shout out to Luch. I like Luch, guys. He rocks. I still want to know how they are able to claim distance to the sun if it's supposedly a black body. How they can claim they can get radio signals off of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they don't know what a black body is if they're claiming they get bounce radio signals off the sun.
Bouncing it off, yeah, a plasma ball that's burning. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Doesn't
you
make
got a better
sense.
chance of bouncing off the moon then.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Which MIT did 1962, and so did the Russians.
Yeah, long before the so-called Apollo missions, before they put those so-called reflectors on the moon.
And those reflectors would be under like 6 to 8 inches of dust right now.
Oh, that long. It's insane. There's so much wrong with it, but yet they want to claim it's proof that we've been to the moon. Yeah, but you guys just literally ignore all the times they got signals off it before they went to the moon.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Backpedaler says no, globe does not say sun and moon the same size. No, I know they don't. Why are you
No,
saying
they
that?
say because of its distance, it makes the same angular size.
Yeah, exactly. They're meant to be exactly the right distance apart to look
It's the same
size.
as saying Venus. Venus is the same size as Earth because they looked at it and it only makes sense that Venus is the same size.
Yeah, a light in the sky, same size.
Yeah.
So nobody says they're the same size in the globe. It's talking about angular size.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you guys saw this new video from Apollo, but Apollo
I love
detectives.
guys.
These guys are awesome.
They are.
And
they just find out that the Earth is flat. Other than that, they're really good.
Oh yeah. They're almost there. They get
They're
it.
there. They're working on it.
But they got some awesome stuff, guys. And this one's intriguing to me because what they're doing is Apollo a cult?
It has all the characteristics.
Oh yeah. And they got good points that they brought up in there.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Luch is asking sorry. Luch is asking what a black body is. He's trying to say we don't know because nobody answered him.
A black body is something that doesn't emit radiation, right? It actually it's not able to emit the radio waves back. It actually absorbs it.
Yeah.
It absorbs the radiation signal.
Yeah, there you go. So you don't have to look and ask Google now, but I dare say you will, Luch. I dare say
Luch, we don't we weren't ignoring you, but it's not we don't know, but
yeah, it's
Google away.
Google, yes. Okay, so we're gonna watch some Apollos. A shout out to them. I think I'm gonna put the link in the description if you guys haven't already subscribed. There we go. They really do have awesome stuff. What's up, Sleeping Warrior? Yeah, have you accepted that the air we breathe does not have a downward direction to it? It cannot have weight for this reason.
Great job, Sleeping Warrior. You were awesome.
Okay, let's do this. But listen to some of the things they're gonna bring up.
Apollo is a cult.
Mm-hmm.
It has charismatic leaders, astronauts, senior personnel, James Webb, Gene Kranz, Neil Armstrong. These are the charismatic leaders who you cannot challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It has holy relics scattered around, rockets, lunar modules, spacesuits in museums. We can go to worship them in the museums. It also has holy scriptures, the Apollo record, the Apollo photographs on the moon, that impossible thing to do. The Apollo records, the Apollo photographs, the Apollo films, the endless commemorations of this event. Over 50 years ago, they still commemorate it. So it's become a cult. It has religious worshippers. It has believers who will not in any way accept heretical questions from people like us. So there's no point in even engaging them because they will not address the questions that we raise.
I'll stop there so long. What do you have to say about that?
Well, why wouldn't NASA delete their own Bible?
Yeah, true.
But it's very
They had
true.
it on tape.
But it's definitely become a cult. That's one thing. I mean, look, as soon as you question anything, how you get attacked by everybody.
Look at the phallical symbol as well. It's just like a rocket, phallical symbol.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's insane. It's like when you as soon as you bring up the Challenger disaster, and you show that people are still alive, then all of a sudden you're some disgusting person.
Yeah,
Like,
I've never met an organization that has so many twins.
Yeah, it's really weird. Then those same twins never existed before the so-called disaster.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they did afterwards.
That's probably why they have Scott Kelly in them as twins. They had to keep the twin thing going.
Mm-hmm. And then it actually brought out a new, those kind of things brought out like a different kind of conspiracy, you can say, where they're using clones. Have you guys heard that before?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Have faith that Apollo was real. We have knowledge that Apollo was faked.
Mm-hmm.
Never the twain shall meet. Oh dear. So Apollo is a cult, and NASA is responsible for its offspring, i.e. Apollo. And now they're trying to launch Artemis, Apollo's twin sister in Greek mythology, as the successor to Apollo. It'll have the same effect. It won't get anywhere, as we see, because enough people are now looking around and saying, okay, well, if it was so easy 50 years ago, what's the problem today? You can't even get a rocket off the ground properly. They explode.
That's good for the religious part, because Stephen Hawking was the Pope. And when he died, you have to wait for the next puff of smoke to come out to name the next one. So that's got to be Elon Musk.
That's so true. That is so true. Oh,
Hey,
man.
Keith, I think you should give Angela.
Yeah,
Carson.
Angela, I'm going to give her a wrench. Yeah.
She's a moderator.
Yeah, I was just about to say
because also I see what's her name's not here tonight.
Vicky's not here.
Vicky's not here tonight. She's not feeling well. But there we go, Angela. Appreciate it. And I think Jeff Gassett also wanted one last. He had one at last. Because actually a few people need one that lasted last time.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff should do it. Jeff's been here a long time as well.
It does help a lot spreading the channel.
Yes, definitely. You guys rock.
What about Gematria? Who's
Gematria? There we go. Got a few of them. Let's see who's in. Lampe, into the brag. There we go. Good to see you all, guys. Thank you all for coming. Please hit the like, share the show. Really appreciate everybody. You rock. I think Tommy as well. Where's Tommy? There we go. Yeah. I find it really odd that the people that defend the things like NASA and the moon landings and stuff get very triggered when you try and say something against it. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, of course.
So that's a really odd.
What is it says in the... Can we see what it says on that notice board there, in that picture? Yeah. Oh, Apollo. Oh, does that say Apollo 12?
Who's the 12?
On the. Is that a little like a? Oh, it's not. It's actually like a manual or something put there. I thought it was standing there on that picture.
Yeah, they just put it there, so it's like in a.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, Robert. Good.
I actually thought it was.
Good to see you, Robert, man. Glad you could make it. But yeah, they've just placed it on the Apollo 12, the manual, so they're like saying this is the Bible for them.
No,
He's the one pushing the smoke out.
I think Elon Musk is rather too sensible to take on that mantle. We shall see. There will be somebody come along who will inherit the aura of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, all the other astronauts who are worshipped. They go around the world expounding on their ideas of what happened on the moon. Thousands of people listen to them. Presidents, princes, popes, potentates, kings, queens, prime ministers. They all worship at the feet of these people.
And don't forget
that's so true. They do make idols of them.
They do. The Freemasons.
Yep. Definitely. And don't you find it very odd that somehow the CIA is involved with all this?
Yeah, quite weird.
I don't know. Has the CIA ever done anything good?
Well, they pretend to do stuff good, but no, never.
At least not for the United States, I don't think they have.
No.
Really crazy.
Yeah, the Apollo hymn book. Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear a quick story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, dude.
My first girlfriend, her name was Dina Alberg, and her brother Alberg, he as a college project, saved the Apollo 1 capsule. It was been sitting out in a field in a container, was going to be destroyed after like 20, 30 years. And he was on 60 Minutes and everything and made a big deal of it and saved the thing from being destroyed, which is kind of a weird story. I never really knew the guy. I met him like once, but I just thought I'd mention that. He's now a college professor in California somewhere. But I would love to talk to him about it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But yeah, just a little story there. So, go ahead with the video.
Agency NASA certainly likes its symbolic numbers.
Oh, it does.
We could get Randy to write the script for those people.
I think he's doing that already.
Yes.
You see, they've been found out, and we are the heretics of Apollo. We are the people who say, no, it didn't happen that way. You lied to us. You created fraud, fiction, fabrication, and you should be called out for it. And they are being called out for it. Mm-hmm. There's a comment I had on an email a few days ago from somebody who's obviously listened to Apollo Detectives. He said, you know, when they supposedly landed on the moon and they took off after they'd done all their jumping about, and they mated up with the command module and discarded the lunar module, which crashed back onto the lunar surface. Where are all the pictures of those?
That's a good point. Where are all the pictures of that?
And he come up with them many years later.
That's the thing. All of a sudden will be like this, you know, we're going to release some rare footage that's never been shown before for some anniversary all of a sudden. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
Like, why are you only releasing it now 50 years later?
Well, Photoshop's gotten better.
Mm-hmm. It's really odd. But there's quite a few good points these guys make. That's what I like about them.
Because as far as I know, all the Apollo lunar modules, once they had got the astronauts back connected with the command module, so the story goes, they then released the lunar lander to crash back onto the lunar surface so they could use their earthquake devices, their sensitive devices to do something. And they say that the moon rang like a bell when they did that.
And why would that happen? Why would
further
that happen?
confuse us?
That's insane. But how can when you use earthquake devices make it ring like a bell? I mean,
I don't know who was listening.
That goes against physics, doesn't it?
Yeah, because there's no sound in space.
Yeah, I mean the moon's supposed to be a large mass. I think you need a fair bit amount of energy to be able to cause a disruption in a large mass to make it wiggle around.
Yeah, that little tiny thing is going to make the moon ring for hours, they said. In a vacuum. What microphone was picking it up?
That's also true.
And how are they sending the signal back to Earth? I mean, it's just so many problems.
That's insane. That's really bad.
It's funny how they orbit when they want it to orbit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Bugs Bunny cartoons. You run off a cliff and you keep on running until you notice that you're not on the ground anymore, and then you start to fall.
Okay,
They are
just-
orbiting perfectly at 60 miles at 6,000 miles an hour, and they disconnect it, and all of a sudden it falls. How do
That's
you?
also true. If you saw how it falls all of a sudden. And notice it started falling this way when it had less mass because it wasn't connected anymore.
Yeah, wouldn't it continue just keep going? Something in
Yeah.
motion continues to stay in motion. Why did it all of a sudden just fall?
Yeah, and I mean, if you got less mass, why is it being attracted more to the moon now? Because it's not linked anymore. When it's linked, it is supposed to have more mass. So it literally goes against anything these guys are saying for their model. It's like watching the Star Wars movies, where when they shoot like the jet fighters down, and then the jet fighters, they shot
they
and all of a
crash.
sudden they crash land into the destroyers. It's like, but
Yeah,
there's not
well, the
supposed to be
destroyer must have gravity because they would just fly off into space. The only one that ever flies off into space is Darth Vader in the first movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's the only one that goes flying off.
Mhm.
No.
Operate the little retros on the LEM to deorbit the thing unless there's somebody on board to do so.
Good question.
If they release it, it's going to stay in that orbit. And there's no way they're going to tell me that they had any Bluetooth connection to that machine to fire those things.
They hadn't invented Bluetooth back in that day.
And then the other thing is did they have any fuel left in that vehicle to even fire them?
No,
Apollo 11 didn't, did it?
No, they were out of everything.
Exactly.
They had said that. They had like 12 seconds left of fuel or 20 seconds of fuel left.
Exactly. And even with that little seconds of fuel, they were still able to accomplish the impossible.
Yep.
And notice all this is still begging the question with them that they could violate natural law to go to space, by the way.
Yeah. They wouldn't be pushing off of anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, have you guys ever seen a demonstration of a rocket working in a vacuum yet?
Nope.
Nope.
Not at all. Can't push off nothing. No
You
friction.
push off the wall.
The only time you see it move, push off the walls. That's it. That's the only time you see it.
This is where it comes with me with the dishonesty of the globe defenders. They do a demonstration like every equal and opposite reaction, but their demonstrations are always in an atmospheric environment. Like they would sit on a chair and then throw a bowling ball. Now I'm on a rolling chair and a bowling ball in an atmospheric environment. There's friction, so it's going to push me back. Let me try and do that same thing where I'm not on the floor. I'm just floating around in nothing. And when I throw it, there's nothing going to give me pushback. Are you going to get that same effect?
Nope.
Exactly. So that's also very dishonest that I get from, because I've never ever seen them demonstrate what they claim. And yet
another
they still
thing
want
is
to keep that effect.
the moment that rocket engine fires, that little chamber fills with pressure and creates an environment or creates something to push off. The vacuum's gone when that thing fires. You would have to have a huge chamber and pumps continually pumping. And even then, the socket rocket propellant would instantly get rid of the vacuum.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's what we've seen. As soon as because they use a small vacuum chamber, and as soon as they fire that rocket, it first fills up the vacuum, so it's no longer vacuum, and then it starts pushing off of the walls to go. We've seen this how many times, and they don't get it. That's why I say, okay, go to something like the Sandusky, Ohio vacuum chamber, like Brian Cox, where he went to drop the feather and the bowling ball. Why can't they use a small-scale rocket in there? What's the guy's excuses? Oh, no, why would they want to prove to us it can work in a vacuum? Maybe because we're calling them out on their bullshit?
Yeah.
If they want to shut this up, they would just be able to do it, couldn't they?
Yeah. It'd be better than them dropping their bowling ball and feather thing or flying a stupid helicopter to Mars in there.
Yeah, I mean, when they dropped the bowling ball and feather, they literally, what was the independent variable varied there, guys? The medium.
Yeah.
Hey, the medium, exactly.
So not gravity then. Oh,
When they tested that Mars helicopter, they had that thing strapped down with tethers. And that ain't going to be on Mars. I mean, if that thing can't fly inside that chamber by itself, then how the hell is it going to fly on Mars without tethers?
Exactly.
Thing.
So, where are the pictures of the lunar landers?
Did you find some?
Yeah, I found them. Look at this.
Yeah, I was looking at them last week. They just released them. When I was looking through some of the LRO, all of a sudden I'm coming up, oh, gee, they got images of the crash sites of the LEMs.
But are they recognizable as LEMs?
Nope.
No, they just look like a dot in the ground like any other crater. They just put an arrow to it and say, there's the landing site.
Standard stuff, isn't it?
It's like moon rock, put moon rock on it. It now becomes a moon rock.
Yeah, it's magic, isn't it? Magic.
Exactly that. And that's why they ended up having that whole debacle with the petrified wood. Because they just labeled it as moon rock. And they didn't think anybody's going to go and actually test it. And as soon as someone went out and tested it, they found that it was false. Then all of a sudden, you know what people do when they don't want to take blame for something? No, NASA never gave it to them. It was a prank, a mix-up somewhere. But when they asked the people, the Dutch embassy or whatever, they said, no, the astronauts gave it to them. So they were lying, in other words. That's insane. Yeah, guys, please hit the like, share the show. You guys rock. By the way, I hardly had any sleep last night. It was crazy because we ended up I think it ended 1:15 last night, well, this morning. And then around 2 o'clock, I just started getting toothache. So I never slept. I slept an hour the whole night. That was quite a hectic. So if I do seem drowsy tonight, you know why.
Yeah, that was a long one. It was rough.
But it was good. I enjoyed it. It was a good chat.
I've never laughed so much.
It's the magic of Apollo.
Well, that's why they keep the plaster molds around, so they can recreate the same shot that they originally created from those plaster molds.
Yeah. Also, these replica plaster molds, as they put it. Why did they have to do them in the first place?
Simulation.
No, but think about it. They're supposed to be going to the moon, okay? This is the 1950s. Why do they need to make replicas of the moon? Like large-scale replicas. That has to be so picture perfect.
I
mean, doesn't that seem something Stanley Kubrick would want to do for filming?
Would do. Yeah, it looks like it's something there to show you, look, we are doing something. We're making big set type stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff that's scaled down. I mean, they could scale it down to like what he's got in his hand, a map. And they could have done it just that way. They didn't need to put them big things there.
Yeah, well, they were because also we can show them in a 3D representation where they're landing. It's like, no, you don't need to do that way. Go through so much.
No, they can sit down at the desk and do it.
Yeah.
Sit down at the desk and do it.
Yeah, go through so much money, so much effort and time for.
And your little railroad track. Why would you need that for a camera and all that? Come on.
That's for a dolly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is a dolly being used for? Oh, I don't know. Maybe some VFX shots?
Hollywood set.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say, Robert MD really says, oh boy, Richie has completely flipped her lid. She's one weird person. Yep. Ain't that the truth?
Gone totally off her rocker. Her latest video with me, I don't know if you guys saw, she got literally triggered. All she does is just swearing at me the whole time.
I won't watch her anymore.
Really, I won't watch her either, but
So yeah,
I saw that she
I said-
put one up on you.
So that's all I said is I'm not going to reply to her anymore. If she wants to carry on doing what she wants, she can always come debate. It's as simple as that. Because she says I am dumb. I don't know what I'm talking about. We saw the last time she came and had the discussion on those 3 points. We saw clearly she doesn't know anything. And I was being very nice.
She didn't think you were dumb when. She didn't think you were dumb, or any of us were dumb when she was an alleged flat earther, did she? You know what I mean? It just shows she's been influenced by the wrong people. And I don't think she ever was really a flat earther. She just goes with the fact.
Yeah, she's literally become now a troll that just literally ad homs, tries to misrepresent people, and then can't concede when they're wrong. You know what I mean? Things like that. But yeah, it's fine. It's part of the wolf pack. That's how they roll.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, her latest video is literally just her swearing at me the whole time. And that's somehow... Oh, and insulting me.
Well, they got.
So yeah, I'm obviously doing something right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. They're still in service and operating after 50 years. That track that they
Look at
have,
that.
everything else that they're using, they keep that set up. That's not just for display purposes or anything else. They actually create the same simulation over and over again.
Yep, simulations. Woo!
Simulation, yeah. Look at that. Is that a projection
That's,
on the roof?
that's
on
the
ceiling
moon, the
there?
3D moon modeling on the roof.
Yeah.
And then they got the dolly on the
Yeah.
side where they actually go in the camera. How do you think they get those
Right.
those shots where it looks like it's hovering over the moon? And then you see the LM,
Yeah, of course.
and you see the LM that looks like
Wow.
stock photography. That's how they
Yeah, man. That just looks like it. You know, that's exactly what it
That's
looks
where NASA's budget went, right there.
like. Mhm.
It's really
It looks like half of it's the old steamboat.
LJ in the house. Thank you very much for your $2 super chat. Said nothing. Oh, just got a strong arm. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. Really appreciate you, man. And Mikey Smith's also here. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Hi.
Glad you can
Hey,
make it,
Mikey.
man.
How you doing, Mikey? Well, by the way, Mikey, I still am going to buy a hoodie off you. I've just been a little bit broke lately. I'll definitely buy one. Without a doubt, dude.
There we go. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. And anyway, all
Absolutely.
you guys in chat, the link is on the top there if you want to come in and have a discussion. If you have anything to share of how dishonest the Globe Defenders are, or if you have any funny NASA fake footage you want to share or anything, be brave. Click on that link and come in and chat. Be awesome stuff to have you in.
Yeah, we love new people coming
With
in.
that.
Definitely.
And that's why the resolution doesn't get any better.
There's a crater for the Apollo 12 lunar module impact. There's one for the Apollo 14 S1VB impact. These just came out.
They're desperate to maintain the sacred scriptures.
But
And we
again, they look all they look like is the craters we all see. They don't look like anything. There's nothing there except just an arrow or a little yellow circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are a little whiter on the radial spray that they put on it.
Oh, quite a lot of things crashed onto the moon. I mean, some of the Ranger craft crashed onto the moon.
Most of them did.
Some of the Surveyor craft crashed onto the moon.
If they even made
And you
it
see
there.
just what he's showing here. You know how possible it is to simulate that with what they had up there.
Yeah, that looks like I don't know, it'd be bubbles and wax.
I mean,
holes in cheese.
you can do this literally with a selfie stick, a GoPro, and a dolly. Literally.
I can see why they used to call it Swiss cheese.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Hey, hi, Neffy. Good to see you, man. Ah. So much people in tonight. Okay,
Back to the simulation.
back to the simulation.
And I will speculate on my own personal. I do not believe that they had anything that was viable that they could communicate with or anything
I
else. whatever they shot up, they would have lost communication with it. I mean, they got directional antennas, everything else. These things are spinning around. God only knows where they went.
These photos
I
are too.
agree. Let's actually talk about that quickly. What technology did they have for wireless communication in those days, the 1950s?
Not much.
Walkie-talkies.
Another crazy thing.
Mostly ground-based technologies.
All those surveyors.
Yeah, walkie-talkies.
Every one of those
Yeah,
surveyors
walkie-talkies,
landed
CB.
perfectly. They landed on their feet. They didn't fall
he was
over
on
or
a
nothing.
Yeah.
Amazing technology.
Now,
And they were
these guys
one of the
will-
surveyors
So these guys,
landed like within walking distance of where they landed on the moon. What are the odds of that?
Well, what? That's the odds of that.
are these guys are they still heliocentrists, but they just don't believe in the moon landings and that, or are they flat earthers? The guys talking.
They don't
No,
believe
they globe believers. They just don't believe the moon
Yeah,
landing.
They still
yeah,
think you can
that's
go to
what I thought.
space.
Yeah. So they still think
yeah,
space
yeah,
is
yeah.
real.
They just don't think it happened. Yeah, yeah.
Let's put it this way:
That's what I
they're 1 foot over the line and 1 foot still back, but they're very
Exactly.
awesome guys. You know what I like about them? They're very honest, and they just trying to question everything and see the validity. And they've picked holes all over in the moon landing conspiracy. Yeah, and I'm not going to say we are the conspiracy theorists for saying it's fake. We are saying the conspiracy is the moon landing. That's what the conspiracy is, because you're conspiring to deceive people. That's the conspiracy. And the government and stuff is trying to twist it around and say, you guys are the conspiracy theorists because you're saying it never happened, which is false.
Years old. They were put out in June 28th, 2022.
Yeah,
It's
I
only a
just
couple
happened to
years.
be looking at LRO photographs and then all of a sudden realize that they got the crash sites up there as well.
Well, they had to show them, didn't they? Because that would then confirm Apollo. That's the cult of Apollo. They have to maintain the story. They have to maintain the narrative. They have to keep the public believing it. But if you ask the average person, which I did today, I was buying something in a chemist and talking about photographic film, and the person serving me said, "What's photographic film?" I mean, that's how far away we are.
Really? That's insane. Yeah, how do you work at a photographic company? You don't know what photographic film is. That's insane. Probably a young guy, a Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got my DSLR, and I can tell you, it's nice digital. I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to film.
I still have a whole room in here of my dad was an artist and he had 3 Hasselblads, and I've still got tons of negatives and things from back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is convenient being able to have pictures straight off nowadays. You know what I mean? But I remember when you used to take photos and you used to put them in to get developed, to either a pharmacy or whatever. That's where we used to put them into the pharmacy to get them developed. It was something to look forward to. Like you didn't know what they looked like or anything until you got to them. It was like, oh yeah, let's go and get these photos. And now it's just common. It's there all the time. So it's not as enjoyable as it used to be. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Enjoyable in a different way.
My dad had
it's a new
dark room right back here. I remember helping him with the chemicals and the red light. And he had a
nice. That'd be cool as well.
He had a dark room in like 2 of his houses because that was part of his work was as an illustrator.
I'm saying there's an art to it. And nowadays, I mean, it's different.
Yeah.
It's just nuanced thing. It's just a nuance for certain things. Well, everything gets nuanced, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'll see if I can find something. 2 seconds.
Shot, man. Well, we'll go back to that when he gets back, but I'm going to share this one so long. Moon Puppet on a String, Sandy Shaw. I think that should be quite good. Hey, Truth of a Compass, good to see you too. Coral Opal in the house, what's up? Glad to have you guys in. Okay, I'm just scared of the music there. But it's definitely on the dip, dip.
These are the ones.
There we go. Look at the
Yeah, these are the ones with flashes on the strings. Yeah.
Well, they're showing all the strings and stuff.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
They try to say that's lens flare, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. This is impossible.
Look at that. It was literally pulled up by a string. You can see that by rope.
Of course.
Look at that.
Of course. You don't get up like that. You don't get up like that.
It's crazy.
You're not flicking yourself up with your toes, especially in boots like that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back. Check out all this old Kodak films.
Wow.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Kodak prints. This is from the
nostalgia.
Check out this.
Nostalgia.
16mm film.
Wow. It's amazing, man.
See, he's allowed to handle it, guys. He's got a biohazard lab coat on.
Of course. He's allowed to handle them things.
I haven't even looked at any of
He's
it.
cool with
From
chemicals.
the 60s.
That's really awesome.
I got real.
That is so cool, man.
All right, go on.
Do you have the machinery to work it, the film?
I've got an old projector I got to get going. Then I can try this. I have a feeling though, you start playing it, it's going to snap and break. It's so old and brittle.
Right.
You'd want to scan every frame flat and digitize it. But maybe I'll try to get it running.
Scan it in, Scan in and digitize it flat.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to get it running, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, that was cool. Let's get back to the other video.
Let's get back to the video.
I said, well, what about those moon landings? Do you believe that? Oh, no, they said, no. I never believed that. Well, at least they're fairly sensible. But it's just ridiculous what's going on. Absolutely ridiculous. NASA are exposing themselves, to coin a phrase, as being incompetent idiots because they have to maintain the cult of Apollo so that Artemis can follow along and can be a cultess.
Well, you should explain to him that photographic film came right after carving it into a rock, just like Fred Flintstone did. You know how they had the woodpecker
I like
the camera
Woody
etching the picture into stone.
Yeah, well, of exposing. Exactly. There you go.
Wow.
That's really awesome stuff.
The old stuff.
That's brilliant.
But I mean, think about it with the Artemis. Why does it keep getting postponed? Every time they say we're going to land someone on the moon, then it gets
radiation
postponed.
problems.
But they never had radiation problems 50 years ago with some tinfoil and duct tape. You know what I mean?
They should have said that the Operation Fishbowl and all that put so much radiation up in the sky that's why they can't get there any longer. That would have been a better story.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or
but I mean,
I don't know.
Their excuse today why we can't do it is because our technology is too advanced, so it will mess up. So you're telling me we should just... Well, then why don't you just go back to Nintendo DS technology then? Just go back to analog.
Exactly.
Why go through all the trouble to make it digital then?
Yeah. When something works, don't mess with it.
It would have been much easier just to replicate that technology then than to try and create a whole different technology, which is actually supposed to be far superior, that they just can't get past low Earth orbit. Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I know why it's that way, because they never went in the first place.
Exactly.
Why do you think they are pushing space so much these days. That's why they're pushing onto children as much as they want, as they have to. They literally do what political parties do before they have, before they go for all the votings. It's a political race. That's all the space agencies are doing. They're trying to push it as much as possible. Space is cool, kind of thing. Support everybody. Let's go to the moon and then beyond. And then when they're supposed to leave, they don't. Then they just go and do it again the next year and the next year. It's never going to end, guys.
No, but we get a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Neil, what's up, man? Yes, the link is on top. If you click on the link, it is on top to come in, man.
I love that Flintstone camera. That
was brilliant. I remember that as watching it as a joke, as a child.
After that, they created photographic film.
Yeah, so you could record them hammering it into the stone. Yes, makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, at least that would work in the vacuum of space. I mean, the bird wouldn't survive, but the idea is there. The concept is
That's
there.
a good one.
Yeah. So let's worship at the cult of Apollo, guys. Let's bow down to the sacred scriptures. Let's worship the heroes, the charismatic leaders. Let's worship all them and see how we feel.
Don't forget their sacred numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got the sacred numbers too. But good point. Yes. There's a lot of sacred stuff about Apollo. And now it's quietly unraveling, because that's how all cults end.
Yeah, the symbolism with Apollo and with Artemis and everything is very telling. I mean, it's
their name.
Everything. It's very symbolic. And it's not by chance that it's symbolic like that. It's a spiritual announcement. Yeah. Think about it. It's a spiritual announcement where if you got a religious cult and you having rituals, you could say, it's your dedication to those gods. And that's exactly what they do. That's why it's to Apollo and Artemis and all this nonsense, because that's exactly who they worship.
Yeah.
Cults end when the charismatic leaders disappear from this planet. They wave goodbye and say, right, I'm off. Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, the money has to dry up as well. The biggest driving forces of any cult is the funding going in, and they have tremendous funding going in. And of course, if you look at even the way they named all of the missions and all of the equipment landing on there, they all have symbolic meaning, part of their cult.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, because NASA itself was a cult. It was a cult of occultists. That's how it started. I mean, look at the originators of what became NASA back in the early 1950s.
Yep, exactly. Tony Whitcomb, thank you very, very much for your super chat, man. Really appreciate it for your 20 pounds. He says, myself and Adam Meekin and Sven P have a DVD called Houston, We Have a Problem. YouTube removed it and I bought it. Destroyed NASA big time. Wow. If you ever want to somehow let me get to it, I'll be more than happy to show it if I can.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really, really appreciate the super chat, man. You rock. Yeah, Tony's really, really awesome. Hey, Paul, what's up, man? And Terrett coming in as well. Good to see you guys. There we go. Okay. A lot of people in tonight. Thank you for coming. Hit the likes, share the show.
You have people like Jack Parsons. He was the guy who developed the solid-state rocket. It's called JATO, Jet Assisted Takeoff. And he was experimenting out in the desert and things were exploding all over the place. He didn't care. He just wanted to get on and produce something that worked. It's still working today. They're the solid fuel boosters on the side of the Artemis rocket. They were originated by Jack Parsons, who was an occultist.
The Ordo Templi Orientis.
That's the one, yeah. That was all. It was in Pasadena, I think that was.
Then you also have people like fiction writers that were just actively writing about space travel from the 1920s on, right? And then you hit people like Arthur C. Clarke, who really made an impact. And of course, he worked at a stationary orbital path without having any knowledge that the Van Allen belts are there.
Yeah, without the Van Allen belts, exactly.
Yeah.
That only came afterwards, which is really, really odd stuff. Why did they bring it afterwards?
No, they didn't even know they went through it.
Well, because they had never been there.
Well, they did.
I mean,
No.
who was that one? Who was that one astronaut when they asked him about the Van Allen belts? He didn't know anything about it. I mean, that also shows that something's off there, because usually you would be briefed you're going through some radiation belt before flight. It's like, don't worry, you guys are going through radiation, but don't worry, we've accounted for it. No stress, man. I remember it's a 1.5 hour long film. That's awesome. Doesn't matter. If you can somehow get that to me to see, that would be great. I'll try and make a plan that we can show it, even if it's in sections. You know what I mean? I can maybe try make a plan to see it. I think that'll be awesome.
Oh, can I just repeat what Paul said in chat? Paul just put a link in for Jamie's video. Jamie's Sea Levels video was taken down on YouTube.
But it's
That's
on
the
Rumble
link for
now.
Rumble.
Exactly. That was
for the same
that was
video.
by far his best one yet. Jamie Sea Level editing is really good.
Yeah, he's
really
on.
good job.
That's why they took it down.
Look, it's very R1 based stuff, but he asked for it. That's all I can say.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw Brianna's latest video.
Watching a grown.
I haven't watched it yet. I noticed it came out this morning, and I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's simple.
Was this
Owen's
morning?
crying now because he's demonetized. How's he going to pay for his stuff? And people are telling him, well, just get a job. And yeah, well,
He has no
doesn't
skills, he
get a
says.
job. Oh, rubbish, man. He doesn't want to.
You can do anything. You can do
I
manual
find
labor if
very,
you wanted to.
you know, I find really sad about it. Does he think he has no obligation like the rest of humanity that needs to find a job to be able to support himself? Come on.
Exactly.
Why
You
feel
can do
sorry
a
for
labor
yourself?
job, anything like
He got demonetized because of his behavior. He's a grown-ass guy. He should get up, shake the dust off, and go look for a job. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And then at the end of the video, he gets all violent again at somebody. Did
So,
you
yeah,
see the
that's-
end of it? He's right back to his old ways at the end. It's
Exactly. So the guy should just get up and then go look for a job. It's as simple as that. Then he won't have the problems he has.
No.
now.
This one fella in the comment section here was quite interesting, because I said to Scott yesterday, I says, you watch, and I'm going to put a graphic representation of the Apollo command module entering the Earth. And I'm going to put another one right beside it, and it's going to show the plasma field around the Van Allen belts. And I'm going to put the two together. And I want to see if people are going to notice what plasma is without me actually writing it there. So then I said, you know what? Somebody's going to say it, so I'm going to write it. This is what plasma looks like on a ship. This is what plasma looks like in the Van Allen belts. All right, fine and dandy. Now this guy comes back and he says, I don't understand what you mean. It makes no sense. So what? A radio signal cannot get through the plasma sheath of a ship coming in through the atmosphere.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking at this and I'm going, I don't believe it. I was right. What do you think is inside the Van Allen belts?
Radiation.
Plasma.
Plasma
What do you-
radiation, exactly. So how do they have any communication?
They wouldn't.
Exactly.
They wouldn't, but yet they had communication right through. That alone shows the dishonesty.
Yeah.
Yep.
You ever
But
notice
they
they got little aluminum handles on the outside of that didn't melt?
Yeah, and what's the temperature aluminum usually melts at?
I think
And
1400
what's the
degrees or something.
Yeah, what's the temperature that they had?
They were at like 4,000. It would have washed off like water.
Is that all it is? Is that all it is? 1400? Well, it is a light metal.
I
Isn't
know.
it?
Yeah,
It is quite
it's
light
pretty
metal.
low. Aluminum melt's pretty low.
Yeah.
Mm.
Level with me. That's the Apollo detectors. I'm going to put the link in again for you, mate. There we go. Really awesome stuff.
You think the Aurora Borealis is plasma? It's the same thing that's around that ship.
Yeah.
So how on earth are those signals at over 2 gigahertz getting through it with one single dish on the ground to receive it? Never mind a whole array of dishes. I could see that, maybe. But one single dish? Come on, guys. Give me a break.
It's the same with people who witter on about the reflective.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the reflectors that put it on.
Yeah, that tiny little thing.
Yeah. What's the chances you're actually going to get anything of there?
0.
It's insane. Yeah.
Mirrors that Apollo put on the moon that you can fire laser beams at, and you get a signal back without realizing it was being done 6 years before Apollo by the MIT and by the Soviet Union. They were getting a signal back off the moon. You don't need a mirror there.
Exactly. we say this all the time to the guys.
I know it's weird. That's weird hearing that from a Globa.
Yeah.
Wow.
You just fire a laser at the moon, it reflects back. That's what lasers do.
And how could it reflect back after 50 years of dust buildup on there?
That's so true.
No, they're questions you shouldn't be asking cults. There are only certain questions you can ask a cult.
Yeah. Let's place it this way. If you got a mirror and it's dusty and it's covered in, remember, the moon's supposed to be this fine, very powdery dust. After
Yeah, and it's
50
meant to be
years,
hit by
you think it's going to
meteorites
be,
and stuff like that.
yeah, you think it's still going to be able to be clean enough to give any reflection off, because it's a reflector.
Exactly.
If it's full of dust, there's nothing to reflect off of anymore.
Exactly, and like alleged meteorites and not hitting it, dust flying about.
And if you think about
go
the
get dusted.
Earth spinning and the moon moving, the signal wouldn't come back to the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Exactly.
No.
And that is, what a wonderful person you are. Will you sign your autograph? Can I pay you money for it? That's what you ask them.
Yes. How much do you need to continue on?
Also, if you think about the angle that the reflectors are sitting, don't you think that you need to
bounce
hit it
the wrong way?
Angle? Yeah. I mean, when you have something at an angle, let's say it's sitting like this and you shooting it here, it's going to go that way.
Yeah, wouldn't you want it flat on the moon?
This way? Yeah, how are you going to shoot it there that it comes back this way or something? You understand? Doesn't make sense. Because for it to reflect back, the angle has to be so precise to get it back. And notice this is all happening while the moon is supposedly 253,000 miles away and moving at insane speeds. It's moving away around Earth while this is happening too.
The whole thing's just so crazy.
Yeah, Underground, you can post, mate.
They're like any other religion when it comes to that.
Exactly.
They ask you to believe without any evidence or proof. The stories are fantastic.
Exactly.
They trigger the human imagination. That's what's driving them. Religion has had that same thing for thousands of years, and it's actually preying on the ignorance or understanding of human life.
Illuminati croissant. The alpha has a breakdown. Oh wow, we might have to watch this. Another one. There's a lot of Owen channels out there. Have you guys realize that?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Can you guys see this? Not yet.
Not yet.
There we go. When I saw because they always do these parodies of Hitler. Oh no, this is gonna be funny.
Yeah, play this one.
Es ist dem Feind gelungen, die Front in Brand.
Damn you, Territ. How dare you do this to him?
Started
You
it.
started all this. Oh, wow.
Oh, no way.
But I always love these Hitler parodies. He asked
Yeah.
this.
Oh, it's pretty funny. That was good. I like
Just
that.
when you think you've seen it all.
Verrat!
I was expecting
Von allen ein
Sorry.
But it's better like that. It's better like that.
It's insane. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. How dare you, Territ? It's all your fault. You started it. The sad thing is, how funny this is. It's actually so true. That's the sad part of it all.
That is.
That. Wow.
But says he did it to himself. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and he continues.
It's insane. Hey, what's up, Neil? Neil Constantino in the house. What's up, man?
All right, Neil.
Hey, Neil.
Am I here?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Good, and yourself?
I figured I'd come in since you missed me so much. I know you must be losing your mind without me present.
Well, it's good to see you,
I did
man.
wonder where you went for a little while. You disappeared for a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't disappear. You guys were going off the wall.
On?
So I didn't know if you got abducted by aliens or something. So I had to get away for a while. I don't know who they were. Are you back?
Always been here.
Is this Flatzoid and PJ? Is
So-
Michael? Is Michael still Michael Kahn?
He certainly is.
Or is he?
I don't think he's changed his name. I'm substituting for him tonight, I guess.
Yeah, he's got the lab coat and all, so.
Yeah.
But I do think maybe later, or maybe I get alone. I got to talk to you about something, not over the air. I think we all need to take a little conversation.
No stress. Yeah, no stress. But it's good to have you here, man.
Yeah.
Shot. I'm just gonna finish this video quickly. Epic. That was epic.
That was.
That was very good. Wow.
Wow. I would have to say. Well
like
done.
I said, yeah, it's done very well. But like I said, unfortunately, the sad truth is, what's said there is true.
Yeah. Sometimes the truth is very funny.
Sure.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, it's very simple. All this can be avoided. Just get a job.
Yeah.
And people can't accept their own death, so they fall towards a religion because they think it'll give them an everlasting life.
But the problem with that is they think they're being oppressed by the government, and then they go and join these cults, and they're 10 times more oppressed when they get into it.
Yeah.
What's the point?
With much less money as well, because you've got to give all your money to the cult.
So does that mean that these people that are coughing up all their money, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy all of this occult memorabilia that NASA is selling, cameras, rocks, you name it, they're selling it, pendant.
Yeah, and look at the prices of this stuff, guys. Why do you need to pay so much for something that's literally just going to sit and gather dust? Just doesn't make sense.
Buying Buzz Aldrin quarters.
It's insane. I mean, look at that.
Wouldn't that weight of them quarters in his pocket screwed up the whole mission?
Yeah, but I mean, look at that. Even just a summary chart. Who's going to pay 3,000 euros for a summary chart? It's like something you can download off the internet for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's fake either way.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
It's space pens. Well, that's costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's what they're coughing up, so that's what they're willing to pay for. But when they find out it's not going to be worth anything when this all comes to the light, I'd like to see them try to get a refund.
Yep.
Good luck.
Space pen.
Oh, that's why you have lawyers for, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. They always have a way around it. Always around it. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a money-making scheme. They're using emotion for people to buy their product. And if it does get shown, think about it, that's another reason why they need to lie. Think about all the money they've made off of stuff like that. If it comes out to light, no, we can't go to space, we've never been to the moon or whatever, what do you think is going to happen? They're probably going to have a large mob against them.
A lot of people are going to want their money back.
Exactly. It will be very big unrest, and I think the society in a whole will collapse. I mean, the thing is, all the governments are in on it, all the agencies are in on it, and do you think there's not going to be civil unrest? You think that people are not going to take matters into their own hands? I mean, you got some people literally put like millions into this stuff. For what? So that's maybe one of the motivations on why they need to lie or keep lying.
I would suggest Arjuan, he should get a job at a Dutch bakery. That way he can get all the free croissants.
But think about it. You don't really need a skill set to get a job. You can go become a street sweeper if you really have to. You can go work at a supermarket at a till. You can go, do anything. It's
Dutch bakery.
It just gets to, do you really want to? It just gets to, do you really want to do it or not? And,
no, he doesn't.
He doesn't want to. He wants to rely on people. And that's why he's not going to get anywhere in life. Unfortunately, it's the sad truth. I'm sorry, I just have to be straight out. You won't get anywhere in life if you want to rely on everybody to do everything for you. That's unfortunately just how life works. You have to take life by the horns, and you have to fight for it.
Yeah.
Lawyers can do anything. They're magic creators.
Imagine what they'd have to do with all of the museums alone.
All the people who pay their money to come and worship at the relics, the Saturn V rocket at Cape Kennedy, they all pay their money to come and look at it.
They're all reproductions of everything, right? Because they have museums in every state.
So if you look at it this way, then the museums are actually their church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Let's say you got the people going to look on the you get these YouTubers and stuff, and they go to look something up on for NASA. They go to these museums always because the nostalgia is so overwhelming. It is like a church. They have some emotional connection to the stuff. So that's very true.
Of course, they incorporate the Air Force and military in those as well.
You have to mix military in with the religion. I mean, you cannot have that. That has to go. Those two go hand in hand. Although you're not supposed to, but they do anyway. And this is no different.
That's been going on for 1,000 years, ever since the Crusades. Politics and religion.
Now you're reminding me of Monty Python.
Yeah.
'Tis but a scratch. And of course, don't forget that the confluence of politics and religion created the banking system we know today.
Yep.
That was being operated 1,000 years ago. Did very well. It was a very good invention. Doesn't mean to say it's right.
Hey, Thomas Larson, good to see you, man. I'm trying to look for your name, but I can't find it. It's not showing up on my YouTube chat, but it's showing up on my Restream chat. Really odd. Wonder why that happens.
So, of course, NASA are going to get involved in that, aren't they? They're occultists. That's why all their rockets are named after Greek gods, Saturn V, and they use Nazis to build them. They had only been fighting the Nazis about 6 months earlier, and yet here they were employing them. It's crazy. Something's going on that we're not being told about.
Well, when you have to outsource your technology to even get off the ground, that's pretty sad. Then claim that they have the technology for everything else.
No. One of the first people involved in what became JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, or as I prefer to refer to it, Jack Parsons Laboratories, which is now a NASA base. One of the first people who was running that was a guy called Frank Molina, who's brilliant. Now, what happened to him? He actually landed up in Paris as a painter because he was going to be prosecuted under the House Un-American Activities Committee.
Wow, that's something I never knew.
I didn't either.
It's interesting. Learn some new things every day. Oh, I see Neil's gone again.
Yeah, no, I thought he disappeared.
He had, as they referred to it at the time, left leanings. Most of them did. Most of those original Rocketeers were basically communists. They went to Communist Party meetings in America in the 40s and 50s. The FBI were onto it pretty sharply, and they were all prosecuted. And we're only now beginning to find out exactly how damaging that was to American society.
Yep.
Yeah, it even got into the movie industry, didn't it?
So you had Jack Parsons, Frank Molina, and Edward Foreman. There was those three guys.
All the history of what went on is fascinating. The sort of political events that went on at the time, how the FBI got involved. Hoover was desperate that people didn't find out that he was a cross-dressing gay.
See, and this is where all the dishonesty is showing out. All of it is just leaking out as time goes on. This is also the weird thing, though. Haven't you realized that a lot of these type of, agencies are usually run by the weirdest sickos?
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? And I think
Really
this guy
weird
here,
people.
he prosecuted gay people, even though he was one himself.
Yeah, not a hypocrite at all.
No. Well, that proves I'm not gay if I'm going after him, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So he would prosecute anybody who was. That would put people off the trail. So sad. Quite unnecessary as well. Yes, Frank Molina is a forgotten figure in the start of it. Jack Parsons is not quite so forgotten because his contribution is recognized, because he was able to create the solid fuel boosters, and his major change was to use bitumen or asphalt as the unit that would hold everything together without air bubbles, because it was the air bubbles inside that were causing the explosions.
Ooh.
They had to eliminate that to make a long burning rocket. So by using asphalt or bitumen, they could do it. And they still use it today. Bit bigger, but the JATO, the jet assisted takeoff, was very useful in World War II because it enabled heavily laden bombers to take off from relatively short aircraft carriers.
That's actually quite a cool thing to see.
Yeah, that is.
Guys, we're only going to go on for another 10 minutes, though. So I don't think we're going to finish this video tonight, though. But
That's perfect. My battery's going to die here soon anyway, the laptop.
So I think we'll end that video here, and we can maybe just talk for the last 10 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I think it's made the point how dishonest the globe people have to be to keep their story alive. And frankly, the globe defenders as well, because they have to defend this nonsense that comes out.
Yep, and they continue to have to change their story as new facts come out.
Exactly. And most of it is violating everything that we know is in reality, and then they still want to fight for it. Illuminati croissants banned from my channel. Serious? I didn't even know about that. I'll have to check. So yeah, what are your thoughts for the trolls? The trolls that are trolling you, mate.
I don't know.
Tell
Let
them
them
to
troll
carry-
away. I'll try to anger them some more. They give me good
Exactly.
ideas because I can tell when they get mad. So, well, that's obviously the direction I need to go.
Yeah, someone trying to come in. Jeff Conkel. What's up, Jeff? And Neil's
Jeff.
in again. You see you guys. How are you doing? You guys, yeah? Hello? I don't
You're
know.
like half
Maybe
in.
Jeff Conkel. Sort of, yeah. I'm just trying to quickly look for that croissant, Illuminati croissant, because I can't see the blog so far.
Oh, please stop saying that.
Oh, no? Stop saying what?
The Illuminati croissant.
It's the guy's name. His channel's name.
Yeah, I wonder where you got that from.
Do you know him from somewhere? No, I can't see it here.
We're not being recorded, are we?
This is live, mate.
You're still live? Oh, I thought you ended it.
No,
it's
we're
still
live.
Just quickly looking. Yeah, I can't seem to see it. Some of these trolls have some weird names. Man.
I don't want to mention where the Illuminati croissant comes from because I don't want to give them no airtime.
Yeah. Illuminati is not a good thing, guys.
No.
Not at all.
I don't see what that has to do with a croissant, but
Yeah, croissants are delicious.
You know what? Hey, Flatzoid, since when have I become this person that walks on eggshells? That's not me, right? What was I taking over too?
I don't understand what you mean. Walk on eggshells.
Illuminati croissant. That's Alwyn. He eats one of those every day.
Yeah?
Right on screen. Bites into it, chops it up, and gets every little crumb with his fingers. So I think that's where the guy got the name from.
Probably.
yeah. It sounds logical.
Yeah, but people usually get weird names from that. But like I said, there's a lot of Alwyn channels around lately. That's for sure.
Yeah. What I hate is when they.
Well, I don't like that Jamie C level guy. I don't like the things he does. To be honest, I don't. Got me in his latest one. I don't like that.
I like his editing skills. Guys, really.
Oh, they're great. Yeah. Adam does a great job editing too, but I mean, look.
I'm in a lot of his videos. So
Are you?
Yeah, I'm in that latest one as well. Yeah, I got nothing against him. I think he's got good. The thing is, you see, the problem with Arwen, he asked for it. So yeah, Jamie C level is actually his whole video channel is based on Arwen actually. But like I said, there's a lot of channels popping up now that's based for Arwen, but Arwen's asked for it, so it's not
exactly. Great. You want to talk about living in a dark world for 80 years and you're not even 45? You know, these things are going to come back and they're going to bite you. I agree. You can't say the things that you said and think you're going to get just like strolling like everything's okay. Let's all get together now. and fight against the trolls.
Exactly. But yeah, but that's sad about Owen. I just think he needs I think he needs God, and I think he needs to get a job. That's all I can say about him.
Yeah. He'd get out and meet some people.
He was talking about the rapture, and he says, well, I don't believe that Jesus is God, but I hope he takes me. It goes against everything in the commandments that Jesus never said he was God. See, that's plain ignorance of the scriptures. Am I right?
Jesus is God. He does say he's God, yes.
He never says he's not God. All he does is display he's God. All he does is constantly display that he's God. What else does he have to do?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's the Bible's very, very straightforward. Without Jesus, you can't go to heaven. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
It's like expecting to go to the Super Bowl, but you don't have a ticket.
Well, you could scalp one out in the parking lot.
It's not even the heaven thing. It's you're going to be separated from your Creator for all of eternity.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's a long time.
But you see, that's where I think when it comes down to earth, when you're here, and if you're not going to want to have a relationship with God on earth, why would he expect you to have a relationship with him for eternity?
Oh, that's why he says, I never knew you. They're begging for one because they think what they did mandates a relationship because they did this in your name, they did that in your name, and that's exactly what Owen's doing. He's doing some sort of technique where he's using Jesus' name and Michael the Archangel for some healing and doing it to people online. So maybe one of them standing there saying, but I did all these things in your name. But that's not a relationship.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why God says he would spit out the lukewarm. So anyway, I guess that's the show, guys. Was really really a good show. I enjoyed it. I want to say thank you for everybody for coming. Appreciate all your support. Please hit the likes if you haven't already, guys. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like, share the show, and I'd love to see you guys all again tomorrow evening. So thanks all for coming. You guys rock. And I think someone is here. Oh, Jamie C. Levels in, Neil. He says hello. There you go. He says, why are you mad at me, Neil? I didn't do dirty in the last one. The one before you dissed me, so I jabbed you back.
I said something about Jamie?
That's what he says.
Ask him where, because I don't know videos. Is he talking about a flat earth debate?
Let's get mad at some of them stupid baltards.
Yeah, I think we'd all get mad at the globetards that are trying to be dishonest and deceive, rather than worry about channels that just make fun of what Owen does. I think that's more like it. Retro Ball, thank you very much for your $5 super chat, Matt. Really appreciate it. It says, Owen, a 3D printer and an Etsy account, no job necessary. Actually, that's true.
Yeah. There's many ways to make money at home.
Mm-hmm. Heck, you can even just go on Fiverr and do some logos for people or just thumbnails for people, just edit videos. You can do anything, just freelance stuff. Exactly. Thank you very much for your super chat, Retro Ball. I 100% concur, man. Yeah.
I agree. It's easy to get a job in this world. Nobody wants to work. That's the problem.
And I'm finding that more and more apparent with the generation of today. They don't want to work. They just want to get given everything. And that's unfortunate.
That is.
So, yeah. So, yeah, guys, thanks all for coming. Going to see you guys all tonight. I'm going to end the show here. I appreciate everybody's support. You rock. And remember, the globe is a lie. We live on a stationary horizontal plane. And anybody that tries to, how can I put it, make Flat Earth look dishonest, just shows them to be dishonest.
Exactly.
We're on the side of truth. So,
and may the pressure be